welcome to Master Life with Rabia and Marcina, where we discuss different aspects on how to create a better self. Today's topic is about how to create your own reality. In our last episode, we mentioned a certain Frankfurt story. Would you please tell a bit about that Frankfurt story?
Yeah, sure. So the thing was that in 2017, I went to Frankfurt on this seminar where the purpose was to fund our own expression within entrepreneurship. And we had this segment on stage where we were dressed up in costumes, we were giving out microphones, and we were going on stage and dancing for 30 seconds.
Oh.
Yeah, and that was a horrible experience to me. It was just like I was not ready for it, and I had this anxiety attack, and I just went into this ugly cry when I got off stage and just left the room. And yeah, I never told you about this. And a few weeks back, we were working here at my place, and we were doing this dance to feel good and be in a beautiful state before we went to working. And you said, like, okay, this is cool. We should do this on the open stage that we go to every other week because of stage training and just freestyling and get to be comfortable on stage. And you said, hey, this is what we should do. And then I told you about my Frankfurt story. And you said, okay, but what about Pitbull Fireball? And that was the song that I actually danced to in Frankfurt. So I just knew that, okay, this is my time to really go and recreate that story and to, give that experience a new meaning. Yeah, that was my time. Because life has humor.
It has humor. Randomly mentioning a song that...
that you had randomly just listened to that morning.
Yeah, exactly. I was listening on the train that morning and just...
Randomly. And so we did. We did perform.
I will share the clip in the end of this video.
Yeah,
we did it.
Enjoy.
Enjoy. Funny and powerful experience. How do you feel afterwards? Do you feel like kind of liberated, or?
I am. I'm just laughing about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a whole new meaning to the experience.
It's amazing. So that was an example on how we recreated an experience from the past. But let's say that you cannot physically recreate that experience. How would you recommend for someone to recreate or shift the meaning of an experience if they cannot physically redo that?
Right. I would say share the story with someone you trust and get their perspectives, because I guarantee that there are more aspects to it than the one you're playing in your head. And by asking new questions, you get access to new solutions and new answers.
Right. I like that. So it's not so much about recreating physically, because you can recreate it in your mind.
But you can always go in and change the meaning you give to a situation or a story. You can always change the meaning that you give it.
Whether it's something from the past, or it's exactly at this moment, or it's about the future. When it comes to the future, for example, athletes, they use these visualization techniques to create a desired outcome in the future. When they get there, when they actually do the performance, and they have already done it many times before in their mind, so it's something they're ready for, it's something they know, it's not something unknown anymore.
Right, because the body don't know the difference. When you're playing it in your head, it's just like your body don't know the difference between something you create in here and what's actually what we perceive as reality.
Yeah. Exactly. That's why, like, for example, horror movies, they work so well on us, because our mind doesn't know the difference, right?
So that is also something I use in the morning. When I wake up, like this morning, the first thing that I did was to start counting what I'm grateful for. And I'm anchoring myself in situations that I'm grateful for and what I'm looking forward to and what aspects that makes me feel aligned and grateful. And when I do that, I have started a momentum for the rest of the day. So when that is the momentum, when other things happen through the day that normally would throw you off, it don't, because you had the momentum. You already set the intention.
You already set the intention of how you want to have that day, how you
Yeah.
want to react, and
Yeah.
yeah,
And if you don't do that, you create a momentum in another direction.
yeah.
So when you want to get into that beautiful state or that gratefulness, it's harder because you're already in a momentum of a different
Yeah.
feeling.
Right.
So by
Yeah.
starting the day, by visualizing what you want or to count what you're grateful for, that is the momentum.
Yeah. I agree completely. Like being just mindful throughout the day of like your thoughts, your feelings, your physical body, just kind of just being aware. Like that's where it started for me, just being more aware of my thoughts, just knowing that I can actually control them. But the first moment is to be aware where they're going. And I mean, meditation is a great technique there.
Yeah, absolutely.
To control your mind, basically.
Yeah. And I have this recipe for to change something, and the first thing is to identify, like you said, be aware. You must know it's there. So first identify, and then second transform, and then third you integrate.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you mean about transform?
If you want to change something, you want to go from A to B, or you want a different results, or you want to take it to the next level, that is a transformation. But in order for that to happen, you need to know what you are changing from. What are you moving away from?
Yeah. So you said was integrate.
Integrate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's say I feel stressed at this moment. So the first thing, I'm aware that I'm stressed. The second is that I want to move away from stress to a more calm state.
Well, the first thing is that, okay, you're feeling stressed. When you're feeling stressed, most likely you are focusing on something that you can't control, or you like have projections about the future. That is most likely not true. So by redirecting your focus into a beautiful state, start counting what you're grateful for. Because you can't be grateful and stressed in the same time.
Yeah. So gratefulness is an amazing technique to actually kind of reshift.
Yeah. Take a deep breath. Just count 3 things that you're grateful for, and just notice how your body's shifting, or get up and dance and just let your physiology bring you to that beautiful state. And that is a transformation, because you identified, you transformed, and you have integrated by taking action.
I love it. Right, we have the opportunity of shifting the meaning and recreating something all the time. Being aware of your thoughts and redirecting them to something that empowers you rather than the opposite. And from what I've learned is that it's not always working to think differently, but when you combine your emotions with your thoughts, then the results are just much more powerful. Because when you don't have your emotions into something, like for example affirmations, I've tried that for so many years and it never worked. Like maybe it worked very short term, but in the long run, like nothing changed actually. So when I was practicing affirmations, I would just say those words like, you know, I'm victorious, I'm confident, I'm whatever, but it didn't work. But later I found out that when I was mixing or combining the emotions, when I was saying those affirmations, they just became much more powerful. Like, you know, you don't just say, I'm confident. You know, you can stand up and say, I'm confident. You know, it just gives a complete different feeling because you mix your emotions with that.
Yeah, and I think that's very common, what you described there. And the reason for it to be so is because you have these affirmations, because that's your desire. And the reason that you're not feeling it is because you have a different belief. Like your primary brain is having this protection program, you have a different belief, so you're off track. And by adding the emotions, that is actually a GPS system that lets you know that you are aligned. So your feeling, it will let you know if you're aligned or off track. So when you are feeling like stuck in that belief, you are not aligned. But when you said like, okay, I'm empowered, and you just feel it in your body and your physiology, then you're aligned. then you fully believe it, and it's so much more powerful. Yeah. So that feeling is just a mechanism that lets you know that you are aligned with that desire. And when you have that desire but not feeling it, then you are not aligned because you have this belief. So there's an inner conflict.
And like we mentioned the visualization techniques, and that's the same when it comes to that. Like when you visualize something, use your emotions, you know, feel it, imagine it, and just use your senses, you know, try to hear something, try to smell something, like how does this new car smell like, or I don't know, whatever you visualize, how does, you know, throughout the day when you visualize your day, like just use your senses. Your emotions as well.
Yeah, like when we have events or retreats, we always encourage people to play full out, to use your body, use your physiology, take part of this, because if you don't, you're holding back, you're not integrating, you're not taking it to the full potential, you're holding back. But by playing full out and just integrate it in your body and your physiology, you really can make a powerful change. Just notice your physiology right now, like how do you sit when you are watching this video, you know, like posture. And how you do something in one place is how you play out in other places as well. And if you are feeling a bit off, just recognize, okay, how am I breathing? Where's my chest? And just by doing this little and just like breathing here, you're feeling much better. And it is that state of being, and that's why we are dancing before we are getting to work, because we want to be in that creative flow or that good state of being, because it is so much easier from that state. Everything is just so much easier.
And do you have any experience with creating your own reality? Do you have maybe some other techniques that we haven't mentioned in this video? Please leave a comment below. That's it for today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Please ring the bell and subscribe if you enjoyed this episode. We'll be back next week with a new exciting topic. Cannot wait. See you guys.